Are we ready? I know I am. So, whether or not you are, it's time for a special Saturday late night edition of the IndieTales Game Dev live stream. Hey, my name is Adam. You are the Pixel Pals. I've already said the name of the show, so without further ado, it's time to go. Welcome everyone to the Saturday edition of the stream. As I mentioned, we don't usually do these, but I've been working so hard today on non-Insignia related stuff, and I've got so much to do on Insignia that I thought I'd jump on late at night. It's 8 p.m. almost, and get some work done. I spent all day building some IKEA furniture. I literally built 4 different pieces of IKEA furniture today, like cabinets and TV unit and a bookcase, just because we needed it in our house. We've been living a bit slummy for the past couple of years, and we just had stuff in plastic containers everywhere for a little while. So we wanted to get out of goblin mode. And here we are. Finally, we have furniture, which is great. So I would love to just jump straight into some dev. I want to welcome everybody who is here on Twitch and on YouTube watching. We've got Papa Phantom. Welcome. My Twitch chat plugin doesn't seem to be working right now. Let me see if I can get that up. Hey, Siobhan SM. I think it's Siobhan. Soban. Let me see if I can fix that. What happens if I copy it? Can I clone it? Looks like it doesn't make a difference. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to force it to work. But it's not working, which is a shame. We got anybody on YouTube? Say hi if you're around. I would love to. Maybe we could throw the YouTube chat up for a bit. I'll see if I can just get a chat widget from somewhere else and just force that to work. Okay. Twitch chat widget. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back. Hey, PC game developer on YouTube, how's it going? Louis Tricks, thank you so much for the follow. Okay, we're back. It's good. I don't know what happened, but we got some results. All right, I have so much stuff to do because let me lay it out for you. For those of you who don't know kind of what's happening with me at the moment, I can kind of just make this pretty clear so that we know what's going on. Atmosphere profiles to be built in April. Lighting situation, foreground, backlight, Fmod. I've already done this already. So I'm going to delete this. Okay. The demo situation. This is where we're at, okay? So, July last. Working on a Saturday. I know. I'm a madman. So, July last year. Received Okay. Okay, so this is where we were at last year until March 2025. And then I went to GDC. We collabed in LA with the Primogen. And then also went to Alt Games Fest in Sydney. Okay, so now in order to receive, not my usual time, no, the last 20% of the funding, need to deliver that vertical slice to invoice to the grant agencies. Now, that's where we're at, okay? My whole everything right now is basically, I got to get this demo out. Across this time, I basically launched the Steam page, and then since then have been approaching publishers for the rest of the funding. Okay, so we need funds to keep the team on, and the only way to do that at this point is basically to go through a publisher. That's like the path forward, unless we do Kickstarter or something, but we're not trying to do that. And the point of the funding last year was to so that we can approach publishers, right? So getting a publisher was like the whole point of the grant, and the grant is considered final, the milestone is considered complete when I start sending the demo out to publishers, right? Or at least when the demo is ready to do that. That's the milestone. So that means in order to, well, it also needs to be done before the absolute final date of the 15th of June because of end of financial year, because end of financial year, rollover for tax purposes, and also I don't want to drag out the time that I don't have a team budget, because I don't want to lose my team. In fact, I want to build my team, and every month that this gets delayed, the game is delayed by that long, right? I can't work on the game at a proper pace in order, until I've got my team, and I can't do that until I submit the demo. But the demo needs to be so good that it can withstand external scrutiny without me being there to fix it if something goes wrong. Okay. This is critical. Okay. Now, I think that we're almost at that point, or at least at the point where I can start. Also, I start a new game dev contract job myself next week. So I've taken on some contract work because I would like to, one way or another, I understand that publisher conversations take a while. An opportunity fell into my lap to do some contracting, and I don't want to pass it up because it's basically in my in my wheelhouse. It's the kind of thing that like is for me a no-brainer. It's very easy for me to do this work because I'm so well suited to it. It's not easy work, but I know what I'm doing with it. So I feel like I have to take on this little thing. And then when I do, it will bring in enough money. It pays so well that like I might even be able to bring on my team part-time while we're waiting for the publisher conversations to go through. I was taught at university for a little bit, like for a year, and then I am self-taught since then. So it's really, really, really important that I shut up and get to work now. But I wanted to just keep you up to speed. So one more time from the top. Last year, I received 130K in Australian dollars in funding. The purpose of it was to hire a team to get a vertical slice done for chapter 1 of Insignia so that we can approach publishers. This is what my team was helping me out with. They were great until March. And then I went to GDC. I did some collaborations with some other, with some YouTubers / Twitch streamers. I went to a games festival and demoed the game there. I launched the Steam page, did a bunch of stuff since March, end of March through to like mid-April. And then I've been doing a lot of conversations with publishers and stuff like that since then. But now, since like May into we're about to hit June, I can't like, I'm kind of like out of pocket 20% of that funding. So like all the money's been spent, but like for me to get the part that I forked out myself, because you only get given 80% up front, the last 20, I get reimbursed when I deliver the milestone. But I need to say that the milestone's finished. So the compromise is going to have to be, I will deliver an archived, version 1.0 of the demo to the grant agencies, and then I will host it on Steam for privately for publishers that I can, in a way that I can update. That will be my my thing. So the publishers don't have to use that version that the grant agencies get, but I still want the grant agencies to get a version that plays reasonably well and doesn't have major bugs in it. That's my thing. I just have enough pride and personal self-respect that I don't want to send them something that's broken. But I need to do that. Like, this is the last week. Like, literally, once we hit into June, next Friday is too late. If I'm still working on it after that point, it's bad for me. So it needs to be good enough that someone can play it without it falling apart, and there are still game-breaking bugs that I need to fix. We're even adding features. I added a feature yesterday, which I have not tested very well or very much. So it's unfortunate that I have to do this, but I have to do this. Yesterday we added cutscene skipping, which is could be a really big can of worms. I'm only letting the player skip 2 cutscenes, so it's not a huge, one cutscene right now, so it's not a huge deal. I can selectively turn it on and off. But there's also other things like I literally just added a new save state feature so that when you die against a boss, it reloads from the previous save. It didn't do that previously. In the past, it did something different where it tried to continue the game from the previous scene, but with the same save data. So I'm gonna try to we have an alpha testing program, so I can actually push this, what I've got right now, to the cloud, and you can play it on itch.io. But I'm a little concerned about doing that and getting feedback that I can already address. So I want to get through this feedback first, and then hopefully get your thoughts and impressions on the alpha as soon as possible. Okay, so that's where we're at. You're now caught up. Why Figma? Because look at how powerful it is. It's like 1 million Trellos simultaneously. It's great. Okay. So, Athenium, Storybook, Leopold. This stuff has to go back on the stack, actually, unfortunately. This goes here. This is, for today, not relevant. None of this is relevant. This is important. But today I built IKEA furniture for like all of it. Because too much stuff in my life was just in boxes for the last like how many years, and we finally got around to like sorting that out. But that's literally what I did from like 9:30 until whatever, the 7:30. And I've already showered, so we are now here. It's 20 o'clock, and I did that until 7. And I showered and dined here. Dined. Okay. Not a great way to spend my Saturday, unfortunately. I really mismanaged my time, but I sort of like thought I would start with the furniture stuff, and then I built like half of it, and I was like, if I just finish it now, I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to do it tomorrow. I'll just get it out of the way. So here we are. Let's get to some game dev. Armin tries to get back to interactives that he's already triggered. This is critical, hugely critical bug. It's actually game breaking. It soft locks the whole game. And I don't know how to reproduce it. So we're in for a fun one. So basically it was this. You interact with this, and then for somehow you can interact again, and Armin will just try to go back to it. And I don't know what I did. I don't know how I did it. I don't know what does it. We can look at the code. I have honestly no clue. But, oh, my brother was playing on the controller when it happened last, so maybe it's something to do with the controller. Let's try it on the PlayStation controller. Also, I did just change the input for that, so it might not happen anymore, actually. It's tough. I literally don't know how to reproduce it. I'm just gonna have to keep a lookout for it. Maybe we can look at the Switch, but I'm not even sure it's exclusive to the Switches. It could be anything you can interact with in the game. Papa Phantom on Twitch said a little earlier, I guess a big question there is there something that we can do to help you bring in, to help you other than sending you money directly on Steam? Once the demo is ready, I can personally push it through indie games to advertise since I moderate there, but that's limited by the product. Hey, Papa Phantom, that's a really, really nice offer. I would love to, I would love to take advantage of that offer as soon as possible, but I will need to be, I don't know when I want people's attention. That's basically it. Right now, I'm not really asking for the public's attention other than wishlisting. I'm also sitting on a trailer right now that could go out basically anytime. We've got to just do some music and update a bit of it. It's going to be done offline, but I could push a trailer out soon if I wanted. The trailer would accompany, I want it to be kind of like an event. What if I was going to do some sort of like outreach on Reddit or whatever. In the meantime, like I'm just posting, the link to wishlist if you're interested in wishlisting it. It's tough it's tough because I know I need people's attention, but I know I'm not ready for it yet. But I know that the sooner I get people's attention, the more it puts wheels in motion to get what I need. So it's like publishers look at the wish lists. The wish lists go up when people are aware of the game, and I tell them to be aware of it. The game improves when all of that stuff happens, but if I do it too early, people might have a worse impression of the game. So I don't really want to like waste my chance by like trying to garner attention before the game's ready. I know it looks great right now. I know there's going to be a time and a place where it's like we're in full blast mode, and I just got to plan that and time that right. But for now, publishers that are I haven't run out of options at the moment. Hey Ocelot, how's it going? I haven't run out of options yet. Oh, hey Ocelot, if you're interested, I have pushed a version of the updates. A version of the new puzzle. If you're interested, you can playtest it. Ocelot's on the dev team. So, hey, la puce qui saute. Bonjour, bienvenue. Thanks for joining us. Are you still in Japan? What are you doing here? Go enjoy your holiday. So, I can't seem to replicate this bug, but I'm going to have to go check the code and we're going to go through it to have a look. Let's go do that. So this prepare for interaction is pretty key. Hey, Slyzora, welcome. And this is super weird. So, Armin tries to move to a destination. Hey, Jivaleza, welcome. I do use Sprite. Of course I do. Yeah, for sure. It's my go-to. I'm a big fan of it. Oh, the wizard plugin. I don't know what that is. I thought you were calling me a wizard. I'm like, hell yeah, brother. It's a Godot plugin. I don't use Godot, so I don't have any need for it. And Unity has its own Sprite importer. And I don't use that either. So there you go. So if we have, so this is the thing that's what's happening. Basically, sometimes Armin will walk. He will try to walk towards something that he's trying to trigger. And like say, it happens here. Let me show you. Okay, if I hit this from like a little bit further away, or even like over here, watch what happens. See, Armin will actually walk towards the position and then he'll do the interaction. But what's supposed to happen is if he takes longer than like 1 second to walk to the position, it should just detrigger, which means it pops off the interaction stack. It's a stack of things that you can interact with because let's say there's a chest here and then there's a mechanical switch right next to it. And they have triggers that overlap like this. If you're standing right here and you try to press the interact button, which one do you interact with? Right now it's last in, first off. So if you're walking from here to here, it'll be this switch that fires first. So there is a queue or a stack of interactions, and then when you trigger one, Armin will walk over to like a specific point. So it's usually the center of the transform of the collider, and then he will do the interaction. So the test here, the failsafe was supposed to be if over a second of time has passed since we started trying to head towards the thing, we detrigger it, we pop it off the stack. But I don't know why that's not sufficient. So I think we could try to force this to fail. Maybe going into a test room, and maybe we can basically set up a mechanical switch. So I've got these elevators. It's actually perfect. And that's a switch there. So we could take Armin here. We could put the switch hitbox in a really awkward spot and make it take like way too long to get to it. So like that should take more than a second. So let's just see what happens. Oh, I see. So it is trying to detrigger, but that's not enough to do what needs to happen. When we do detrigger, that doesn't really do anything. So he kind of like stopped trying to run, but I think process interactable here should just kind of there is cancel sequence. We could try that. I don't like that this is just hanging out here. It should be like a state, like in his state machine. And it should do something. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, like he's not trying to run towards it, but he's also still running. Do I have control? Oh, I do. Okay, so at that point, we just need to just idle, I guess. Let's go check. Now, unfortunately, I mean, what is the purpose of this? Oh, literally it does nothing. Okay, well. And somewhere else in the game code, something tries to deal with that. Should we throw it here? Sequence player. I was going to guess there. Oh, but this has an on D trigger for the interactable. So it should just do this. Oh, and it does give control. Okay. Interesting. All right. Okay. I mean, that's all I can do for now to test that. I don't know what else I would even try. Attempted fix. Soft lock to when Armin tries to interact with an object far away. But there's also an issue. Is there no debug text? I mean, the thing is, there's just nothing. I mean, I can debug it for sure, but that's not really the issue. There is a deeper problem, which is that somehow in the game right now, it's possible, and I've only seen it twice, and I've never set it off, so I don't know how it gets triggered. But it's possible to try to interact with something, successfully interact with it, leave, and then at some point or another, the player character will attempt to go back to the thing to interact with it. So right now, all I've really saved us from is Armin will probably now try to walk for 1 second and then stop and then give control back to the player and everything should be fine. So it won't soft lock the game, but I still don't know why certain things stay on the interaction stack. I don't know what's causing that. Of hours, you know, while I've been developing it, and I've never seen it like happen to me, but I've seen 2 people do it in the last couple of play sessions. So it happens. It's more likely to happen, I think, after a long period of time. It might even be if errors stack up, maybe like as you play through, it becomes more likely because something fails, some null pointer exception, and then maybe something doesn't pop off the stack when it should. And we could try something like that. But again, I don't know for sure. We'd have to do it through playtesting. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to take it away, but I'm going to call it like, I'm just going to leave it under here as high priority, but I'm going to revert it to unvalidated. All right, it's now 8:17. Just going to put it back here because I did work on it for that time. Okay, next. Hedgehogs face Armin when charged. Oh yeah, that's a bit weird that they don't do that. I jumped up in the Discord to try and stay up to date on news, and you or the team can DM me or ping me whenever you want. Thank you so much. That would be amazing. Yeah, I want to do the indie dev community so proud. You know, it's super important for me that this game, I really want to be involved in the indie game dev community, and this game doing well and giving people something to play and celebrate would be, I mean, it's all I've been working for the last like 10 years. So I hope I can actually make good on the promise. Ocelot says, could it be related to pressing up to get up on a ledge? I remember some weird bug also when getting hit by something at the same time. That is interesting. What is interesting is actually those mechanical switches, their interaction button. I think I just figured out what it was. The switches, maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay, the switches, up until yesterday, their interaction button was the up button because which is against the standard. The standard is it should be the special button on the controller, or it's this button triangle on a PlayStation controller is what I call special in Insignia. And previously they were not. There was a standard where pressing the triangle button is what you interact with everything. But for switches especially, I think that at least the button prompt was wrong. But I don't know if the prompt, like the little icon above them, was incorrect. But I don't think that's enough to make that a problem. It's possible that up and special, because previously before it was special, before it was triangle, it was up. But it's not up anymore. So it might be something to do with that. I don't know. I'm gonna let the players figure that out. So let's go fix this. Hedgehog, engage. They have a charge called dash. The charge is right here. When we enter the charge, we should always face the target. It's crazy that that's not what happens right now, because we just fought one yesterday and it was not doing that at all. Let's go to a place where we know that it happens. Something is happening where we're hearing this sound effect a bunch of times. I'm hearing it and then I'm hearing it again. Let's see. If state is complete, if we're facing Armin and we're doing footsies, if we should charge, what is state index? The hell is that? Oh, we're cycling through states, I guess. State index goes plus. Okay, all right. Else, go into footsies and force it to be true. If we are complete and we are facing Armin, and we're not facing Armin, and we are doing footsies. I mean, the facing Armin part's a bit weird. I'm gonna take this away. Also, let's face the target, not Armin. That's a bit dated. Okay. Now, let's look at the hedgehog's animation. And see if there's anything that we're hearing here that we need to be careful of. So this jump has this right here. So on dash start, we have the hedgehog roll sound, which I'm imagining is the we could probably check that in Fmod Studio. Papa Phantom says, if it makes you feel any better, your name is often brought up around development cycles there positively. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I've heard, once in a blue moon, I will search my name on Reddit to see what the public sentiment is. And as far as I know, I think people regard my tutorials well. I get a lot of I see a lot of people being like, oh, what's a good game dev YouTuber to follow? And someone will say, oh, go follow Adam C. Eunice. His content's good. So that I'm proud of. As far as developers though, I don't know if anyone, I didn't know if anyone thought of me positively in that way. So enemy hedgehog roll. Yeah, and then rolling is nothing. So it's hedgehog roll that we need to be watching out for. When is that playing? It's not playing anywhere else. So what's happening is the thing that calls hedgehog dash start seems like it's playing multiple times. That seems like something we should be monitoring. Like just then I heard it. That's really weird. Let's go have a look at this where we call dash. In fact, why don't we do it at the charge animation itself? On exit, we set dash start. Now that doesn't seem right at all. That just seems like complete hogwash. That just can't be right. Whatever I was trying to do, I don't want to do it. Okay. I don't like that, whatever that was. Was that because of the slope? And I think, honestly, I'm happy for him to just use his charge animation over and over again. I don't think it's necessary for us to do the other one. This character is too simplistic. It doesn't matter. And there's not even like the state machine for this character is too complex. It really should just be it should just be that. I used to have a bunch of different animations they could do and stuff like that. I don't think it's worth it anymore. I think right now it should just be dash, do your thing, and then on the hedgehog itself, during its update, I really prefer this model for checking the states these days. Just got some old code, really. So if the state is complete, figure out what you want to do. But there's something else here that's more important to me, which is to say, when he's doing engage, where is the complete condition? There isn't one. That's weird to me. I think it should be that if we can't see the target, and C here talks about direct LOS, or is it target detectable? Has indirect LOS, distance to target, check for target, check target events. None of this is what I really want. I want this. This is what I want. I don't like using this boolean, but I'm going to do it for now. If the target is detectable, then do that. Else, complete. Lost target. Let's try that. Something's happening here where he's not quite figuring it out. Sometimes he'll reset. We should always charge from... Ow. Oh. I don't like that. I don't like this idea of it sort of, he starts and then he stops and like, what is, that's fine. Sometimes I feel like the charge interrupts sometimes I feel like this. Oh, this should be true. Damn it. Okay. We should always reset the dash. Cool. All right. I think I'm happy with that. I can't see what else I would do with it. Okay. It is an homage to Sonic. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He's had like 4 different sets of behaviors over the years, but he always had the spin dash. It's just that he used to also do like projectiles with his spikes. He used to like sea urchin, like puff them out. I still want him to have those animations, but it's a bit of a challenge to get them in right now, the way that he currently is. I think as I've been working on the enemies in this game and trying to get the systems that I have, like the elemental capture system, I don't even think I showed you that just now. So now you can capture the abilities. As of like a year ago, you've been able to now capture the abilities and use them against enemies. You can do that with a parry. So you can even do it mid fight, like this. And that system has forced the enemies that use it to be more like tools. Like it's almost like the enemies have to conform to the behaviors, because if you can steal an ability from an enemy, then you would want that enemy to be doing that ability more frequently so that you could steal it more often, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, like since we're here, since we can do this stuff, like we probably should should make the enemies become more about that. More like type based. So having like 4 other things he can do waters down the idea a little bit, in my opinion. So it's okay for him to do one thing. Yeah, maybe in like chapter 2 I'll add one. That's something that I have started doing more in the last little while. It's an economy question. So like I have these little guys around here. They're called the Marten, and they've got a bunch of animations. They're like bokoblins kind of thing, you know, they can do different things. And the idea was, well, I want to use these animations for other enemy variations. So now there's like a shield guy, and there's like a projectile guy. He can fire projectiles at you. And when you break the shield, he becomes the other one. They become the base type. So it sort of like adds layers, you know, in a way that's just handy, I guess. I then also have like, right now, the ones with the slingshots, they're kind of so like up there. But, you know, maybe later we'll give them more hit points and we'll let them conform back to the base type as well. The reuse is really, it's really important, I think, to be able to do that. Okay. Where are we at? 8:35. Oh, very good. Okay, HP up mask is broken. This is super important. So right now I've got a bit of an issue with the tutorial. Is it free to ask? Yeah, you can ask questions. Valve's Art says, do you have a production calendar? Like days of the week that you work on the game? This is the closest thing I have to a production calendar right now. It's basically just my day. Well, I've got like, I guess, I had this thing for a while, but I find myself not using it very much. So it was like this, like the whole week, and then things that I want to do that week. But I find it's not really that productive to work that way a lot of the time. Instead, I basically just prioritize what I have to work on next. If there's no like deadline, even if there is a deadline, and at the start of my day, I just slot stuff in and then start working on it. And I get as far as I get, you know what I mean? Like every day is one day, and I'm only one person. So I have my 12 hours. What can I do with my 12 hours? These are the tasks that need doing. Done. When you're early on in a project, I think it's more like you should have aims, broad aims. But here it's like, I got tasks because I'm so deep into the game. So HP up mask broken. This has to do with the fact that we are on no progress. Actually, that won't work. It's chapter 1, day 2. So we're walking out here. Cool. And then we start this tutorial. So, hello? Whoa. Hello? Oh, that sucks. That might be the dialogue system taking control over Armin. Because I changed that yesterday. Dialogue engine. Dismiss. Okay, let's try again. Oh, nice. It was that. Okay, here's the problem. I press this button. Oh, what the hell? It worked. Oh, no. I hate when it only sometimes doesn't work. All right. Let's try somewhere else that I know we can. Okay, let's try this. A bit early. Sorry, chicken. Oh, so close. What? It's too slow. Patrick, my brother, was trying to do this yesterday and I felt really bad. The timing's terrible. It's impossible to do it. I'm going to get it though. Oh. Okay. Damn it. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay. So that's no good. That's the problem. Obviously this needs to be here. And it's in the wrong spot because the camera pulled out during that little moment. So we might be able to just hack it if we go to item, health, sequence. Update health bar. So what's happening here? Yo, thanks for the follow, Paulita. Welcome. We are on late today. That's right. All right. So what's going on here? Hide spotlight. It's not. This is really old, and it's really not great. I hate it. I hate everything about this. It's vestigial. It's a really old system that's been kept around because there are like 2 or 3 cutscenes that still rely on it. This one being one of them. I don't know why. I don't know why when I press OK and then I go, why that does that. I have a feeling that this is kind of secondary. Oh yeah. Show HUD. Maybe we say use far camera. I don't know what that does in this context. Nah, still no good. So this is kind of got to do with the fact that I used to have a system that zoomed in and out when a cutscene started, and that no longer is the case. And this HUD, when we zoom, it offsets where the HUD is pointed. So the thing that highlights the HUD is also offset. I guess what should happen is that the thing that, when we do this, right, and we look at the little mask, What is this? Where is this? There. No, that's not right. Spotlight. Okay. This is a sprite renderer. That's the whole shade. And then this is a, what is it? Just a transform. And the transform is sitting here on Spotlight. Spotlight is part of UI, I guess. It's sitting under the UI. The UI has a UI scaler. And yet the Spotlight doesn't seem to really react very well to that. The Spotlight is designed to be able to be used anywhere. So it shouldn't, I mean, it can be a child of the UI, I suppose. But when it sets its position, it needs to be, I think what's happening is I'm just giving it a transformed opposition, like a vector 2, but I'm not giving it a transform. I'm not telling it what thing I want highlighted. So when the thing moves, it's like, well, I don't know, bro. Wherever it was, that's where I'm looking. Which is, super awkward that it's like this. Sup, Enigma. So it's a challenge. What do we do? We could... I don't know, it's really hard. Because when we spotlight the HUD, wait, what? Wait. What is calling this function? Is it engine? It has to be engine. Yeah. Okay. So this is what's happening. Well, it might, the problem is that it can't be childed because I use it in other areas of the game. So like, I suppose I could just duplicate it and use it more than once. But right now, like currently there's a cutscene at the start of when you learn how to do crafting. Let me show you this. So you come in here for the first time, you do this, you forge an iron pauldron, and then the game on its own goes into the menu, and then it picks this, but when it does that, it highlights the grid, and Armin says, I think this will fit, specifically because I want the player to learn that there's a grid system and that whether or not it fits is a part of that system. Like you can't put things in that don't fit. So that is one other place where I use it. If it was childed to the health bar, then you wouldn't be able to do that, right? So we could have it be local space that it's created in. When we spotlight the HUD, we are saying spotlight area. Wow, really? Just like that? Engine spotlight mask, sneaky place mask there, and then place mask. I hate this, but whatever. What is this, bro? Just like... I think sneaky place mask was like move there without shrinking or growing there. It's like what it is it's a thing with a script on it that I can place anywhere in the level. So it's 4 circles and then a square that is as wide as the circles. Like that. Not like that. Oh no, the square is... Oh, there's 2 squares. There's one square that goes all the way... Oh my gosh, I made this a bit complicated, didn't I? It's like circle, 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 circle. And then there's a square that goes from here to here, like that. And then there's a square that goes from here to here, like that. And that makes it a rounded square. And these all create a sprite mask, or multiple sprite masks, such that there is a shade that can darken the screen, but the part that isn't darkened is inside of this. And I can tell that to appear anywhere on the screen or anywhere in the world. I can say, hey, here's a position in space. Make this appear here and darken out everything except that part of the screen. The problem is that at that little moment just there, the camera's zooming out. So there's like a transition that's happening. I suppose I could just like wait, you know, I could make it so that it waits. So that it has to zoom out and then it does it. That would be the cheapest thing to do right now. In fact, I can make Armin do this. No. I can clone this, do this. I can do this after like 0.3. I can wait like 0.5 seconds. Just force a 0.5 second delay. That would be my cheap way of getting around this problem. And we never speak of it again. And we never have to worry about it again. Could probably wait a little. It could be less. We could make 0.4 seconds if we want. It works. It doesn't break anything else. It maybe makes the game a little awkward for like a split second while you're waiting for something to happen because you can't move the controller while that's happening, but that's okay. Right now we just adds workaround for spotlight not responding, not updating with zoom when on health orb get by adding a delay to spotlight. Move on. What is it? 8:53. We're on track here. Requirements not updating in Forge menu. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. So, my brother was sort of running around doing bits and pieces here. He did this here. What is our current save type? Okay, 1, 2. What else did he forge? Whoop, whoop. Okay. So, what are those crowns / XP? Crowns? XP? I'm not sure what you're seeing here. So this is fine, but it wasn't updating before. There's no crowns or XP. What are we looking at? What were you seeing? Hey QMerc, thanks for the sub. What was I doing here? I was forging stuff. I guess I could get the honeycombs. I can make that. And then that happens. Okay. So, in order to replicate this, we have to make something that we can't, and then not be able to make it a second time, and then it won't update. Okay. I'll explain it this way really quickly. First, the art is to scale, but because the game can smoothly zoom, it's not being rendered at an upscaled art resolution. It is showing the art through a 1080p camera, and the camera can zoom in and out, if that makes sense. The art can also be placed off axis for parallaxing. So you can see here, there are these little pixels that aren't real pixels. They're not pixel art pixels, but that's so that this bush can move very smoothly on subpixels. And I just prefer having things be able to move smoothly like that than to block everything onto the pixel art canvas. Thank you, QMerc. I appreciate it. That's really nice. So what is the problem here? A little forge menu is what we're looking at. And then update design focus. Designs list view to update items. This, for some reason, isn't happening. If data design inventory count is 0, begin sequence, null state sequence. Oh, this is Armin saying, I don't know how to do that. Yep, I guess. Otherwise, reset the forge label and then open the menu and then set up the designs page. And then, oh, is this even the same? No, it is. Set up page, update index, update design focus to the focus that we've got. And then focus that item and then whatever. Update requirements. When does that happen? Okay. Every frame. All right. I can't see why this wouldn't work. I don't know what's going wrong. This should be happening like, let's log it. I think I might have broken something just then. We'll find out. Okay, still good. Very robust. Okay, I need that chocolate bar design though. Because I need 2 items in the thing. I could really easily cheese this. I don't know why I'm forcing myself through the game like this. Okay. So I make this 1, 2, 3. And then I can't see anything else. But if I clear this, collapse it. Oh, it's literally, it thinks that it should be looking at the honey jar the whole time. Okay, at least it's working, but why is it like this? Design to show. Showing design. So it thinks it's supposed to be showing the honey jar. Okay, showing design. Okay, why? Okay. Selected design. Focus design. Is the honey jar selected? Because that's the last thing we made. Okay, so we're not resetting this menu every time we go in. So actually, when we open selected design equals null. Nope. Okay. Hang on. Yes. It works. So we just needed to do that. Now what happens if we spawn 3 honey comb? Spawn 3 item honeycomb. There. Can I make it again? Okay, well, it seems to work. We should probably test it from scratch one more time. Let's do it this way. It's easier. Spawn 2 leather 2 item leather strap. Can I do that? It doesn't know what those are. Hang on. Oh, it does know what they are. Iron scrap. Yeah, it works. Awesome. I fixed it. Now, before we do that, let's get rid of this. Fixes bug preventing Forge menu from showing active selected focused item design. Cool. Churning through them, churning through them. Next, it's 9:06, perfectly on time. Oh God, this one's killing me. How's the wish lists and demo? Hey, Null Pointer. Wish lists are growing steadily. I mean, I'm not doing much promotion other than just here on the stream. So until I start making, I haven't even really announced a video on my YouTube channel that the game is available for wishlist. It's sort of crept its way in 1 or 2 videos, but I haven't like made a video entitled Wishlist My Game on Steam or anything like that. If you go to Gamerlytic and you check, I don't check officially anymore. I just go here and I just look at that because that's, for some reason, it makes me feel, I feel anxious when I have to log on to Steamworks and then check the number itself. I prefer just to know roundabout where we're at and then, you know, just infer from that. Okay, it's because it's pretty accurate actually. I don't want to check the Steam backend. I'm too anxious about it. So 4K in about 2 months now, which is decent. It's decent, but it'll be better once we've started doing a bit more like promotion, I think. Speaking of, if you haven't wishlisted it, please go ahead and wishlist Insignia. You do me a great service. I have like 3 publishers waiting on a demo at the moment. So I got to finish the demo and then I'll start chatting to them and seeing what they care about and what they want to do. No, not this summer. No. I'm not doing any kind of Steam Next Fest or anything like that until we have a release date. And it'll be like the last summer before the game comes out. That's when I have to do it. I'm not in promo mode. We're not even really in production right now. Okay, so dandelion vines, they're a bit broken. What's happening? I got these things that they're an enemy type called the dandelion vine. And they have been, hey Burke, how's it going? They have been the bane of my existence forever. Every time I try to fix this bug, a month later, the bug shows up. All right. So what happens is, he's a little bit upset. What happens is, the vine has these additional objects, right? As I walk up to it, you can see the objects instantiate, or they like enable, and then they animate up. They have hitboxes on those colliders. So those animations hurt you if you touch them, right? Now, all of that is perfect. That's exactly how it should be. If I go to this sandbox and I make this, one second. A wall. So you can use an ability to climb the wall. That will, the goal of that is that if we do this, we can then climb the wall. Okay, which is really cool. But sometimes what happens is, and I don't know why this happens, but sometimes the hitboxes for these vines stick around after you kill them. It's very rare, but it happens. So you can do this, and then as you're climbing up, you get hurt by something and you knock off the wall, but it's invisible, it's gone. I genuinely don't know what causes that. It might be that you kill the thing while it's animating in. Like if you somehow just run up to it and kill it. I'm not even sure what caused it. It could be that if it's fading away. Maybe things that are like halfway in. Couldn't say. And I have to repeat it somehow. I have to replicate the bug. But I can't seem to. There we go. I knew it. All right. That was pretty good. I figured it out. If you kill it while it's trying to scale the wall, it will, one of the hitbox lags behind. So what did we do? The thing that's crazy to me is that like, here's the dandelion vine. Where is the, oh, there it is there. And these are the coils. And this coil didn't die. One of the coils didn't get disabled. That's important. And I hope it's not a coroutine. I don't think I'm using a coroutine to do this. But if I walk up to it, let's have a look. Coils go up, coils go down. None of them get disabled. They all got disabled then. It's something about, it stops listening to like the death call if it's in the middle of something. So look at that. Dead, dead, not dead. So I must be doing a, I think I am using a coroutine for this. To stagger out the death animation. Boom. I see. So the coroutine for extending it gets called after the coroutine to retract it, but that extension happens after it's been told to die. So it's mid-death, and then it goes, oh, I guess I'm extending right now. And it just doesn't disable. Something like that, basically. One coroutine lands late. So what I'm going to do is say if state.doing death state return break. What is the, how do I, okay, why don't we just do this? Let's see if I can trigger this again. Okay, up, down, die. That's bad. Not enough. So what does the kill vines do? Oh, it's just a different coroutine. Okay, another one. So what's happening is one of these, I guess, is happening after. Hang on. Down, up, down. Whoa, that did nothing. Okay, that's way worse. Out, in. Oh no, nice, it worked. They all died. We got there. This way, this way, this way. Actually, I might have been early that time, or a bit late. Bing, bang, bing. Let's try one more time. Bing, bing, bang, bing. No. I just got to do it. I just got to play it just right. Okay, that was perfect. Perfect. Okay, we fixed it. I'm going to call that done. Fixes bug stopping dandelion vines from dismissing hitboxes from dying. when retracting. Ugh, okay, good. We're nailing them. We're actually doing a really good job right now. We're actually ahead right now. Okay, this is a good one. So, do guards stand in their final position after tutorial when loading back into the scene? So, I don't think that they do actually, and it's kind of embarrassing. A couple of things that I do. One, I have hot reload. Hot reload it's like a kind of insecure but like very effective plugin that allows you to only compile the parts of the code that you that changed. But also one thing you can do, even if you don't have that plugin, is go into project settings, go to editor. Where are you? Editor, and then go play mode settings. Click this on and click these off. On, off, off. That will make it not reload the domain every time you make a change. Or every time you press play. It'll just, make that a bit faster. But hot reload's great for debugging because you can debug while the game's running. Thanks, Ashcon. Okay. So, let's have a look. It is Saturday. How you doing, Arya? So we need to be able to, cutscene completion would be great here. I actually did add it, but not every scene is skippable. Wait, oh, there we go. So I can pause now and you can try to skip cutscenes, but not everyone is marked as being able to be skipped. This one particularly would be terrible to try to skip because I'd have to set up a bunch of things that, like Armin breaks the wheat as part of the cutscene. If you skip the cutscene, how do I know if the wheat should be broken? I need to have a bunch of conditions that we're checking about stuff on quest end or something like that, on sequence end. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Ashcon. Yeah, it's much nicer now than it was in a few years ago. So what we need to do is this sequence. Oh, here we go. The sequence is banned entirely if we've met the combat guards. That can't be the case. And this is really tricky because what this is doing is literally last week I set up a new standard for cutscenes in the game and NPCs. As part of my current feature set for cutscenes, which is amazing. It's a really good system. It means that all NPCs should be at the root level of the hierarchy in order for it to be the way that it needs to be. So this thing here that I couldn't do before, but here I can create a cutscene in the scene. It auto populates the scene with the, if I press play, save, sorry. It auto populates this. I can press validate and it basically just sets up an NPC in the level with a timeline, a sequence player. It auto populates everything that it can. If I press this button here, validate. Interesting. Okay, it didn't do that. It should do that. Retrobox track not bound correctly for Hugo. Hugo. I don't know why that didn't work. Whenever you try to, it's when you try to demo something, it always breaks. But right now the philosophy is when you have a situation where an NPC exists in the level for one purpose and also exists in a situational cutscene, the cutscene should use the NPC. And There are ways where you don't have to do this, but for me, I am not up to that point yet. So like, for example, here, what's happening is I've got these guards, right? And the guards, you know, they become enabled when the timeline, when the hierarchy is, like if I go to sequence player here or cutscene, if I'm starting the cutscene, right, and I'm previewing it, okay, they appear here now because the cutscene places them there and enables them. If the cutscene's not active in the scene, then they disappear, right? Because the cutscene's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. We're not here right now. But after the cutscene, they appear right here. They stand here. So what do I do with them? Do I make it so that they're always here, but when the cutscene starts, they get teleported to where they need to be? Or do I spawn new ones in? I think I might spawn new guards in, and I'll have the new guards. This is kind of breaking that convention that I just set up, but it might just be easier for now. If I have Walter and Alex, copy them, paste them here. They're not really NPCs, but I'll have them here. And then create an empty parent and call it after guards. It's not great. It's not a good thing that I'm doing right now, but I'll have a condition toggle, which I created. I'll have a condition behavior, and the behavior will say on load, if you've done the tutorial, if I've met the combat guards, and if that's true, so on load you've met them, then I can toggle these two on, which I don't have to do this because they're child objects of it. And then I'll take these two and I'll place them exactly where I want them to be. So if you've just done the cutscene, they should be here. They should be where they are at the end of the cutscene. And then when you load into the level, they'll be here. I'll also make it the case that you have not, I guess, been to the, they shouldn't be here if you have gone to the Crucible. I think that has to be false as well, because I just don't want them to be there after that. So let's check. Have we been to the Crucible? In our test sequence? Nope. In our test progress. Have we met combat guards? No. So let's just do it as if we were running through normally. We'll meet them. We'll talk to them. That's great. Is that a 3D plane? No, the water is a shader that just takes the contents of the camera, flips them vertically, squashes them down, and then adds a noise offset for that ripple effect. I can show you the shader graph. Oh, he doesn't want to talk to us. Oh, that's because we don't have the thing done that we were supposed to get done to trigger his cutscene. But you can't do that in the real game because you'll have to talk to him to get there. So now he's here and we can interact with them. So he will, right now, he won't want to talk to us unless we have meet guard. Oh, we have done that. He should want to talk to us then. That is true. What else, Walter? Finished forge. Let's call that. Let's apply that. Will you want to talk to us? Ah, okay. Well, I mean, it could have been worse. I'll test it properly. Two things though, and this sucks because I'm totally ruining this right now. His dialogue pin is in a terrible spot right now. The pin should always be above Walter, and the pin should be higher up too. Like, dialogue pin should be like up here, at least, and then on him, and then specifically oh wow, there's 3 of these. What is this? How does this work? Combat Guards 1. Okay, it's Combat Guards 1. Which it is. Okay, and then I'm gonna, on this one, place another one at 0. And then a little bit higher. Also, his prompt is in a terrible position. Prompt needs to be here and then offset like that, and because I'm a dummy, I've done the same issue here where it needs to be there and then offset like that. So let's see if we can trigger this properly. Really awkward, but it's life. I'll show you guys the shader in a sec. Okay, so we meet this guy. I don't like that he's not animating, but we'll figure it out. Come in here, we forge this. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, Armin wants to show us how it works. Show us, buddy. Okay, it'll fit. Great, thanks. Okay. Then we actually need to do quite a bunch of cutscenes here. Maybe we can sort of skip this a little bit. I don't know how possible this is, but let's just see if we can figure it out. Meet the old man. That'll allow us to skip ahead a little. I probably could have skipped ahead a bit of a different way, but we're here now. Square tree? I'm not sure. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, can I leave this? Oh, I screwed it. Hang on, can I? No, I screwed it. Okay. I'm moving too fast. So let's try again. But actually, what would be the best way to do this? I guess we just load into this scene. And then we do this, and then we just leave, and we force complete the quest, and then we come back. Ouchie. Yummy. Rolly. That was no good. Don't know why that failed. Don't know why that failed. Can I talk to him now? Can't talk to him. But that's because we haven't done the quest. If we leave, and then we apply first, forge. Can we now go talk to him? Oh shit. That's no good. Oh, I think applying that made it so that we had no longer met them. Meet. Combat. I'm going to try something else. Hang on. Let's say we have met the combat guards when we start the scene. We have met them. What? What? save. Ah, this is not test progress. All right, well, let's make it test progress. What else have we done? Okay, well, that's pretty good. And then we could just walk up to him and talk to him. Okay, well, at least... At least that works. Cool. Okay. Take his portrait away because he doesn't have one anymore, at least that I'm comfortable using. You can post clips. Yeah, sure. Square tree. I'm not sure what you were looking at. So anyway, here's the water. And this is the shader for it. Okay. Oh no, that's a house. We actually need to do. You mean in the foreground? This? Or hang on a second. Let me see if I'm talking. Oh, this. Oh yeah, that's a tile issue. Yeah, I need to fix that. Yeah, it's a really old tile set that I used for trees in like 2018 that I've just kept in that scene for some reason. All right, so this is the water. You see it? And it's like, let me show you like the idea. The parallaxing is done here. It's pretty interesting. So like you can kind of see that the lower parts are moving faster than the top parts. And the way that I do that is I basically, how do I do that? Oh yeah, I have the UV, I am doing what to it? Split, multiply, vector 2. How do I do this? I must be moving the offset faster on the y-axis than on the top axis, on the x-axis. So yeah, faster on the x-axis. Time should be multiplying x, adding, and I'm adding that to the UV. So that the higher that the... I still don't understand how that's doing that. How did I do this? Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay, got it. So basically, I take time, and time is scrolling the noise. Okay, so like over here, this is the noise. The noise is being scrolled. The UV of the noise is being scrolled by time. And that time variable is multiplied based on the y-axis of the UV, like of the position of the water. So the more the position of the pixels that we're looking at descends down from the top of the water, the faster it moves. That's the idea. So that creates the parallax. This noise is just a normal gradient noise node. You can create this with a normal shader. It's no big deal. It's just a noise function. So noise functions are great. They create randomness that's semi-random. So you can have randomness over a space. That's what it's for. So it becomes, you know, it's random on average. If you zoom all the way out, that's like real random. But as you go in, you can kind of like soften the random. So you can do things like clouds. You can do things like terrain, like a height map in a virtual game, in a virtual environment. And in this case, water also follows the same logic. So this is being used to create an offset for the sprite. So the sprite is being shown. The sprite is the whole level. It's basically a texture of what the camera can see. Camera flips that upside down, shrinks it a little bit, and then scales the offset. It does a rippling based on the black or white. So, you know, black might push to the left, white might push to the right, and then that, the amount of black or white, the amount of left or right is moving to the left and is faster at the bottom. Then what I do is I take the very, very highest values of this, right? So like the bits that are the whitest white, and I just select those, okay? So I cull everything away. That's the ripples on the top. Then I make that very, very transparent and then add that to the original. So now you get this rippling effect across the top. And that's all it is. That's the whole thing. Oh, also I'll make it a little bit transparent too, so that you can see the earth through, like you can see the main tile set through the water. That's the other side of it. This, I did not design this. This was very heavily inspired by a game called Kingdom, which has a very similar water texture. I do not take credit for the design of this shader. All I did was look at screenshots of this game and say, how do I achieve this? How do I do this? And obviously then I figured it out myself. Hello.
Hey.
How you doing? I'm going as long as I can. Not all night, like not staying up for an all-nighter, but I'm working. Yeah, I really liked what they were doing, and I thought, what can I create this? You know, would it be possible? And it was pretty straightforward. I mean, you can see it. Man, I tell you what, like 3 years ago, I was so bad at effects. Effects was my biggest weakness for many, at least 2 or 3 years. Well, for the whole of the game's life cycle until like a year and a half ago, 2023, midway through the year, I spent like 2 months on visual effects. And it helped a lot. But there's a point where you start to realize that everything is only a couple of different kinds of thing. Like, it's nothing that you've ever seen. The most amazing VFX you've ever seen are built on very foundational principles that everything is built on. But until you're confident enough to recognize them, everything looks like magic. And then you'll go through all these complicated, at least I went through all these complicated hoops trying to figure out how stuff worked. So let's have a look. Like this looks, I mean, this is doing it's just doing the thing that I was saying. You know, there's an offset here that's rippling this. The rippling has to happen. You have to be offsetting the contents of the camera's what it can see to create ripples. I'm sure that my version's using the ripples to create the foam, but this one might not be. I think this foam is just animating over the top. Mine doesn't do that. This one also has stuff in the water, which I don't have, and I don't have like foam. I don't have like water like pouring in, interacting with it. But you know, I could do that. That's just a sprite. A lot of the stuff's really straightforward once you get going. Like these reeds in the shoreline, that's just a sprite on top. You could figure that out too. I really love Kingdom. I think it's a beautiful game. It's the kind of thing that I kind of wish that I was making games of that scale. basically just like interactive art pieces that have some gameplay in them. And the gameplay is really good too, but it's not a complicated game. Well, I say that, it's probably pretty complicated. But there's not like, 150 cutscenes. That's the thing that they don't have to do. Okay. So I really should speed through the game properly to test this. All right, let's do it. This might take a minute. One sec. Oh, it's a gorgeous game. As a piece of software, it's gorgeous. Not just as a video game, but as an experience, I should say. It's so special because you just don't know what it has a way of pulling you in and immersing you into a world and caring about every little thing that's happening in that world without any dialogue, without any combat mechanics that you're in control of. You have so little control over that game. You're just running around dropping coins. But you are building this narrative, and there's so many different mechanics and things to care about. But you discover them, So many of those things you just sort of like you experience them and just learn by virtue of like, oh, I guess this does this. Oh, that does that. Oh, that's cool. It's so much discovery. I played that game for like weekends, full weekends, just obsessed with Kingdom. And the fact that so much of it is just like straight up procedural is just really cool. Having that emotional investment in like one archer, you know what I mean? Like what one agent in the space is doing. It's like, this guy needs to kill that rabbit. If this guy doesn't kill that rabbit before the sun goes down, I'm screwed. That is awesome. I love it. That feeling of like caring intimately about like what one little tiny NPC is doing, and knowing that NPC like came from, like, you trained that guy. He was a vagabond. You saved him from poverty, and now he's your archer. And if you don't get enough coins to build one wall, like it's just so special. Very few games make you care about characters, like random NPCs that way. Without giving them names, So special. I don't know how. I genuinely, I don't know how they do it. So elegantly. I should be able to skip this cutscene. I'm going to allow it to be skipped. In fact, let's do it right now and see if we can do it. That's a really important scene in the game. If people skip that, I'll be really upset. I really don't want the game to have skippable cutscenes, being honest. I really would prefer it didn't, but I know how people get. Thank you so much, 6. Yeah, I'm going to try, like, the current demo, the old demo is available on Mac. I'm hoping I can keep it. But Mac's kind of fallen out of favor in the last little while. Not sure what's that all about. People are like, oh yeah, don't even care. But like, is Mac really that... Is the install base of Mac users really that small? Okay. So it worked. And then if I leave and then come back, I can talk to him and he's fine. Great. Okay. So the only problem was it just looked really awkward. Okay, that should be good. I don't have to change that anymore. Okay, good. Yeah, after it's beaten once, maybe. Like if you have a save file that has done that cutscene in the past, maybe. I'll have to see how I would implement that. On release, it's something that I would consider implementing, like by release. All right. Let's keep going. Next, I might take a little break. This is done, and we're at 9:51. We're actually still on time. You go in butcher too early. That's done. That was from yesterday. Wait, so I got all those things done? Hell yeah. Story, alpha pass, real dialogue. Lock on is a bit weird, not very visible. Oh, that's a real issue. I'm going to take a quick break. The thing is, why would you let your ADHD rob you of an amazing story? You know? I just have to make it more compelling. Do you skip movies? You start watching Indiana Jones and the credits start and you skip. All right. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Tears of the Kingdom's 5-minute intro cutscene. Oh, you have to watch it every time? That does suck. Yeah, if I couldn't skip Elden Rings, that'd be annoying. I was speedrunning that for a while. God, imagine. How long is a Tears of the Kingdom run these days? Do they do glitchless ones, or is everything just glitch? "39 minutes. Damn. That's pretty quick. Does anybody else feel like I feel like the optimal size of a speedrun should be like, if a game takes like 3, maybe 4 hours to speedrun, I feel like that's the ideal. Like, if a game is down to like sub 1 hour, I don't really enjoy it. Like watching it. Like I like to see, because there's not enough like, what I like is when there's like a story to the way the speedrun plays out. Like, we have to do this skip and then we have to go get this and then, oh, we have to go through this. And there's like, you're watching the player play the game that you recognize, but in a way that's like, they're getting little advantages here and there. Maybe they skip one major part or two, but like they still do the game. Whereas like in a lot of these speedruns, it's like, I don't remember what, well, I don't really know what. Do you still have to do the whole intro to Tears of the Kingdom? Wait, so the first 5 minutes of this is unskippable? Jesus, what are we looking at right now? Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow, actually 5 minutes. We're still doing, most of this is still Sky Islands. You actually still have to do Sky Islands. Damn. Feels bad. Pardon me. Oh wait. Is this a skip, or is it, do you still do it from scratch? You still have to do this whole thing, do you? I can't remember where I am. We're still in the Sky Islands? To get all the different powers? What, and then you just go and find the end. So like 20 minutes of this 35-minute speedrun is the tutorial. 26 minutes. Holy moly. See, that's not a fun speedrun for me. I hate it. I hate it. It sucks. There's like 20 minutes of intro and like 20 minutes of outro and like 10 minutes of the middle of the game. Not even. I was doing Elden Ring glitchless for a little while. It's like my version of, I do this thing where like I do my own definition of my own speedrun. Like I just make up my own rules and then I speedrun that. So I have like a Elden Ring great runes, like not all remembrances, but like the big ones, speedrun glitchless. So it's like you have to beat all of the, you know, Morgott and Margit and all of the major ones. What's her name? I'm going to forget all the characters. Radahn and Renala, Praetor Rykard, all that stuff. And then also Millennia, and then also the DLC, and obviously Elden Beast and all that stuff. So it's like the full game, no skips of like any major beats. But apart from that and no glitches, everything else is permitted. That's my personal speedrun. So like I can do that in 8 hours. And for me, 8 hours feels like good. I can do that in like 2 sessions. The first 4-hour session, I get all the way to like the ice giants area, sort of like late in the base game. And then like the boss run, and then the DLC is the next chunk. I do skip. Oh, I fight Mesmer, Renala, and Promised Consort, and Rosa, whatever her name is, Rosa, the Scorpion lady, Rosalina. Okay, I gotta do some more work. Oh, there's an all dungeons. Yeah, like that's good. That's a good one. Hey, Soren, how you doing? Hey, More Game Studio, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, all dungeons is a good one. All right. God, there's so many of these that I'm gonna see if I can fix them now. Okay, let's get coins in Geo, chicken teleport, Athenian Road 100 couple too early. Oh yeah, that's easy to fix. Harriet scene broken on low level. I don't know what that means. Shields don't break on step forward frames. I don't know if that's still there. We can test that. Camera issues when there's a cutscene camera on scene load. Don't know about that one. I don't want to fix this, but I can. Arise craft didn't trigger. Oh, that sucks if that's... I think I fixed that. Review all dialogue, story alpha pass, lock on is a bit weird. This requires a design change. If we get to the end of the rest of these things, then we can at least draft that one. I feel really guilty about it because I designed it exactly the way that it is. It works exactly as intended. It's just not very good. Okay, coins in Geo. That's an easy one. Coins in Geo means when you spawn coins in the game, Romina. That's right, Romina. Rosalina. Rosalina and Luma. All right, I'm going to make a little thing here that spawns a bunch of coins. Let me see if I can just create this thing in a flash. Or even just, actually, I can do it on Armin. I'll just make Armin spawn a bunch of coins above his head. I will give it... This is so awkward, but it's just, I don't want to create a new script from scratch. Okay, so this is the coin spawner. There. That's very placid. So I don't like what the coins are doing right now, in that they go down into the geometry a lot. It's not very good. And if I look at their physics, I think if I just set them to interpolate, that probably will fix it. But we'll have a look. Yeah, they're at none. How does the engine know what the coins are? Oh, it is still glowing. Okay. Interpolate on. Let's see what happens. Do these coins have interpolation set to on? They do. Well, these seem okay. Let's go try it on some awkward terrain in the level. Hey, More Game Studio. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hope you're having a good day. Rosalina and Luma. They get stuck a lot in like seams in the geometry. Like this would worry me. Yeah, what the hell? That sucks, man. They just miss. Brother, you're set to interpolate. I think we just say never sleep and continuous. Let's try that. That's usually better. Yeah. I think you're right. Damn it. I was like, it's fixed. And then it just wasn't fixed. There's also something weird happening here. I got to figure that out. Continuous, never sleep, interpolate. Oof. And this is, what's crazy is that this is like a composite collider. It is a polygon collider. So maybe it should instead be a not a polygon, but a shape. I don't know. Well, it's like missing this interaction. It's not spawning in the terrain, they're dropping down and they're landing. The first collision that they find is the internal slope. And then they bounce against the inside, I guess. This is by Shader, the shake. Okay, let's figure out what's happening. We can fix this. So the coin has a hover state, travel state, a sprite. The sprite has a hurt box and an item. Item is just an item, and this has a collider on it. But this also has a collider. Maybe the... this box collider should be doing all of the collisions that we need. This is on item physics. This is on item, and this is on player. I don't know if item... It might be that over time, there's a separation between all of those different colliders. It could be an issue with my physics system, my collision system. So like these guys here, I mean, they don't seem perfectly aligned. So what's happening is there's like a few different like hitbox, what would you call them? Hitboxes. I wonder if there's some sort of internal conflict between them. Where like one collides and the other one doesn't. Like I said, we've got item and we've got player. Those will all collide. And then we've got the coin itself, which is the physics of the coin. I do need different things on different layers because I need for them to bounce on the ground, but then also hit the player but not to be affected. They shouldn't get pushed by the player, but they should detect the player. So that's like a different thing. I wonder what happens if I turn the animator off. Well, I'm still not happy about the way that they clip through the ground. Also, the animator is obviously still working, so that didn't do anything. It seems to happen where the collider has multiple polygons interjecting. So it's like it hit an internal polygon instead of the ground one. Is it possible to change the polygon flow on the collider? So this is using a feature called Super Tiled to Unity. And Super Tiled to Unity is combining these into a polygon shape. I believe there's a setting for Super Tiled to Unity to make it not use a polygon shape, but instead use a different kind of shape. There is a reason why I'm not doing that, and I'm not sure why. So this is outlines instead of polygons. Oh, that's actually way worse. Okay. What happens if I make this collider also do that? No, it doesn't affect the coins. Well, the thing is, it doesn't really affect the player ever. I guess because the player's body is fat enough that, but he never falls through the ground, I don't think. And he has just as many colliders on him as everything else does. I guess he kind of is. Oh, no, he's not. Perfect. Let's ask GPT. Not this scene. Tunneling, where the rigid body moves so far in one physics steps that it skips past the floor collider. Here's how to fix it. Continuous and okay. Increase physics 2D solver iterations, velocity iterations, position iterations. Reduce rigid body velocity, increase collider size, adjust physics 2D settings. Avoid thin, sharp polygon 2D edges. Check layer collision matrix. Wow, that's super unsatisfying. I really thought continuous just solved it. I really thought that if you had like a line here and you have an object, it doesn't matter how fast the rigid body is moving through the object. The check should always be like, well, did you pass through it this frame? If you did, resolve it here. Isn't that how Box2D works? Isn't that just like how a contact solver does its job? Why is that not? Really? So even with continuous turned on, it's still not good. Man, Box2D is garbage. Box2D was garbage in 2010 and it's garbage now. It's always been bad. And the fact that Unity is just built on top of it for 2D is just like, and then that's it. It kills me. It's not great. If you're making a game and you're not trying to use like, I mean, I suppose the problem is that I am using it. Not that it is bad. If I was making a physics game, it would be better for like just random rigid body physics interactions. But like, I don't want to have to make my own contact solver. I just know that this one's bad. You know what I mean? So this is a polygon collider 2D. What are my options? Oh, otherwise it would have been an edge collider, but we're not going to use that. So are the coins really, they've been set to continuous, never sleep, and continuous detection. I'm not going to make it. What the hell? Is rock solid. Continuous collision detection is rock solid. But maybe in this case, actually, the collider, the composite collider is actually hurting us more than it's helping. Nope, it was definitely helping. What the hell, man? It's not happening on every, I mean, I think it's happening when the polygon collider is generated. It does these, it tries to satisfy some, I don't know what you call these, like conditions to make it so that you need fewer edges, so that every shape is convex. Static instead of kinematic. I actually did not try that. That would be a good idea. Good check. Good test. I think it's not good. Looks pretty good. Oh, damn. Nope. Or, nah, that's going to fail. We just got to hit it at the right angle. I mean, so far, so good. Definitely better. Oh. Yep, there was one. We just got unlucky. I wonder what happens if we just remove it altogether. Oh, composite collider requires one. The coins aren't moving that fast. Do I just increase the amount of physics calls? That feels shitty. I guess I could make the coins drop slower or give them bigger colliders. The default gravity value is set for my game. I'm not using any weird variables. The values are pretty decent. Like negative 8.5 is a pretty reasonable speed for physics to be at, for gravity to be at. Put coins where there aren't multiple tries, like on corners, flat ground, etc. But that's just like the coins spawn out of enemies. So I can't control for that. And maybe we do more iterations. How many iterations does this need? Multiple iterations, so simulation positions. More iterations yield a better simulation. Default 3. Number of iterations of simulation velocities. Simulation positions. I don't understand the difference between these two. But, I mean, if one is 8, let's make the other one 8 too. Well, that was worse. We already got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bad. Oh my god, it was worse. How? How is that possible? Maybe we just got really lucky that time. I'm putting it back to 3. What the hell? Okay, what if I just make this size like this? Was it really so small? Was it really that bad? Well, if the amount of times it happens is basically 0 now, then I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to do it a little bit of a cheap way. I'm going to bring this Y offset up so that it's still a really big fat collider. But none of this matters. You get me? Like, it's not a problem because They still appear to be on the ground. And they'll never fall through fully because they're too tall. I'm not sure how, if I want them to slide like that. I still think that's not good. Maybe they should bounce exactly twice. What do you think? They just stop dead on the third contact? It wouldn't look great if they start bouncing down the hill. Why not do it the other way around and offset the sprite so that the sprite never clips through? Because Magnus, they were getting caught directly in the geometry and sliding internally down the geometry. It wasn't that they were clipping subtly through and then bouncing out. It was that they were going directly through and staying in when not handled correctly. Particularly on geometry that looks like this. They would pass through, hit this, and then bounce up into this, and then gets caught and then slide down the internal face. So it wasn't just an aesthetic visual thing. All right. I do think that they could be a little bit thinner. Maybe we try that. Still fine to me. Do they just need bouncy box friction 0.1? What happened if I make this like 5? Oh, that's a bit better. I think I'll keep that. Maybe like 4 or 5. Just a little bit less. But then I'm sure there are other things in the game that use that. Like the beehives. Nope, that has its own. Cool. Okay, we're good. Could be a little bouncier. And then I got to remove this thing from Armin's script. Okay. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Push it. All right. That took up a lot of time. That was we were doing so well before. chicken teleported. This is not great. I think it's because of, I think I know exactly what the problem is, and I wonder if I can fix it quickly. So these chickens have a thing called flea, and flea I built off the back of something called patrol, and patrol sets the position of the object. In fact, I thought I fixed this. It really bothers me that I didn't, because I actually thought I have fixed this. But anyway, what it does is it sets flee is a kind of navigate. Aha, that's interesting. If we're about to arrive at destination, we set our position to be this. Okay, what's the bet that I'm not able to actually cause this to run? It's going to happen too frequently. I mean, they look good to me. I can't replicate it. Only when my brother's playing does this stuff happen. I can't replicate it at all right now. It looks fine to me. All right, well, move on. It's also not a big deal, to be honest. Hey, Magnus, thank you so much. What a guy. Thanks for the sub. Okay, next. Athena. Okay, this is easy. This I can fix. It's not really a bug so much as it is just like an issue. I have these two guys that show up a bit later. And there's kind of an Easter egg, actually. But they're not showing up at the right time at the moment. So they have a required flag is return to Hugh end quest flag. What is this? Return to Hugh at the end of Be a Man? Really? That's what sets them to be present. I think it has to be defeat Hunden mini boss. And then I think these two can be there. No, they shouldn't be there. Feels kind of bad to have them disappear here, but that's life. I do use Figma for planning. Yeah. How are the scenes loading? Are you using addressables? I don't know what an addressable is. No, I don't use this. No, what I have is I have a system that I built called Scene Graph that I got some help with we're doing like a public release. But the original system that I built for this, it's basically just, well, the original thing was called Scene Instance Collection, where I basically just have like a giant scriptable object of scene, well, these are called scene metas now, and they're just like metadata about scenes. So I built this myself, but it uses GraphView, which is like an internal API that Unity has for doing shader graph and stuff like that, VFX graph. So I have this collection. It's just like a big list of all of the scenes in the game. And the levels are wired up. They've got references. When you go through a door, it has a reference to a link to another scene graph and a door at that scene graph, at that scene node. So, oh, sorry, I'm answering two different questions here. Yeah, it's not an asset bundle. It's just, I literally, the way I do all of my lookups in my game, it's pretty wild. I just have one scriptable object that's just got everything in it. It's called library. So I go game system, data library. It's literally a scriptable object that's just stored in one of the singletons for the game. And it has a reference for every single thing in the game in it. That's it. Hey, Farolino, thank you so much for the sub. We've got a hype train incoming. So like all of the items in the game, all of the sprites for items, all of the quests, all of the quest flags, all of the designs, all the accessories. It's just like a giant singleton. And the other giant singleton is Scene Instance Collection. Well, scriptable object instance that goes on the singleton. So then I just don't need to, it's always serialized in the scene because it's on the singleton. And so I can always just look up the thing. I guess that means that it's always in memory, but we're talking about kilobytes of data and we're talking about like the names of a scene, like the paths, the scene paths, or like, you know, basic reference data. So this thing is a visualizer for it. So it allows me to like, you know, actually make the connections and then update them, that kind of thing. And I can use it, I use it as a project navigation tool. It's just easy to double click one and go to it. So, yeah. So I just fixed that. That should be fine now. Why is there two doors here? Oh, I can't go through there because that doesn't exist yet. Okay, so we're here. Talk to these two. And then we go save editor, defeat. Hunden miniboss. Apply that to the game. Go through here, and here they are. Okay, cool. Now, only other problem that I had with them was that I don't think they're animating correctly. There we go. That's better. Wow. It's kind of weird if you see this cutscene later, after you defeat one. Yeah, progress is going well, Farolino. Really well. Okay, so where are we? We just finished that. We can commit it. And then here we are here. So the question was, am I using a template? I made this myself. Yeah, I make a lot of stuff myself. This is it's just a bunch of components, you know? It's just, I don't know. Figma's pretty good for that stuff. All right, 10:49. We've got 10 minutes. We actually are still beating the clock here. Shields don't break on step forward frames. I don't know if that's actually true, but we can test it. So, if someone is very packed with life but wants to get through game development or coding in general, what should they do? What's the right amount of time per day that can be given? I mean, if you could spend half an hour a day, I think you could make a lot of progress as a programmer or game developer. I think you just have to be able to commit to it. What's your average set pass calls in a scene? Lots of nice looking shaders going. I don't know, actually. I've never thought to look, but there's not that many shaders. Like, there's one on screen right now. It's like, that's one shader. In some of the other scenes, it's, yeah, a little bit more, but most of it's just default shaders. It doesn't break. Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward. Martin... Shield... One sec, pals. Be right back. Hello. We're back. Okay. Anyone know a good resource to learn or improve small pixel character sprites? You can use my YouTube channel, but other than that, I'm not sure. Brandon James Greer does a lot of small pixel art stuff. Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My internet went down, and now I'm hotspotting from my phone. It hasn't happened in months, but it happened just now. Sorry. So shatter, it only happens once. What calls shatter? Exit. Why do we exit? I don't know. The only thing that gets us out of here would be stun. And there's nothing about this character Oh, it's the shield, the forward step must be... Oh, man. Maybe these... That's vulnerable up, vulnerable up, vulnerable up, vulnerable up. I don't know. What about like normally? Is it a stun issue? I've got no idea. This has got 10 poise when he steps forward, but normally it's still got 10 poise. Okay, they're identical at that point. Ignore hurt happens here with shove. Step forward also has ignore hurt. Oh, then I just designed it this way? This is as per the design already? Weird. What about if we just, I didn't mean to do that. Wait, now I'm swinging up all the time. Hang on a second. I think I know why this is happening. I think my PlayStation controller is giving me a bit of grief. I'm just going to break this USB. Okay. Yeah. That's not what we want. I think that there's a better way to solve this, but Cool Shinji says, just one advice. What's up? Man, that did not go the way I wanted it to. Should I use a smaller canvas like 16 by 16 as starting out? I think should is a really difficult word. I think 16 by 16 is very small, and it's going to be difficult to improve as you work with just 16 by 16 pixels. It's not a lot of pixels. So if you want to start drawing faces or doing more interesting things, you're not going to be able to draw whole characters in that size unless you're okay with them being like programmer art sprites, like really simple. I would say 32 by 32 is a good place to start. Don't be intimidated. It's just drawing, you know. But 16 by 16 I think is too small. 128 is big for sure. That's pretty big. But I think like 32, 48, that's reasonable. But 16 is small, you know. I don't even do icons. Like my icons are just 16 by 16. And I even find that difficult for like items and stuff. It's okay if you want to make very small objects. Otherwise you have to do like, I mean, what do you want to do? Like 8 by 8? Like, what can you draw in 8 by 8? If I wanted to draw an apple, that's it. That's all I get. You know, I can't give it any expression. I have to sort of just, you know, and then if I want to outline it, like, it's okay. But I mean, it almost takes skill to go small as well. I've got a video about that. I've got a video called like why smaller pixel art is harder. You really want to be able to, I mean, I think it comes down to what you want to do. That's my biggest thing. Like, what's the kind of game that you want to make? What's your favorite game that uses pixel art that you want to, your work to look like to compete with or to like be equivalent to? If it has pixel art that's like 32 by 32 or like 64 or even 128, you're not going to learn how to do those by doing 16. That's my only thing, in my opinion. I think the content of that video that I made, it's a little bit clickbaity. The reality is like there are two kinds of people who do pixel art. Artists who are transitioning from normal art, like traditional art, maybe drawing on pencil and paper, or even Photoshop art, digital art, into pixel art. And then there's people who don't do any art and they're learning art foundations through pixel art. I think if you come from the second group, you're kind of like learning to do pixel art and you're also learning to draw. So I think there are some people who don't even want to learn how to draw. They just want to learn how to do pixel art. But they're not interested in pencil and paper. Those people, I don't know what advice to give them. I don't know what to tell you. Because for me, it's like, it's all drawing. I started drawing first, so I'm more interested in how to render an image that lets me as an animator and artist, you know, do what I want. But like, you might not want to create sprites that look like this. You might want to do something different specifically. So it's tough. Like, this isn't really, when I think of like, you know, like some people just want to do this, you know, and that's nothing wrong with this, but it's just different. You know, to me, like, I want to do more with this. I want to give it shading and I want to give it, you know, depth, and I want to use art techniques on it. But it's technically fine, you know. All right. So, I never solved this problem. I think the issue is that the concept of vulnerability here, there needs to be a if. Yeah. Too ambiguous as a beginner. I don't know what ambiguous. I don't know what, I mean. You have to have a target. I don't have a curriculum. I haven't put enough thought into what an art curriculum would look like for someone who's not an artist learning pixel art. I don't know what that looks like. because you still got to learn about shapes and forms and color and light and expression somehow. But if you don't even want to learn about those things, then it's like, I don't know what you want to learn. You know, I don't know what skills to teach you, because I don't know what your goals are. Too ambitious. I don't know. I don't know what. Again, I have to know what your ambitions are to know where to set them. So the problem here is that there's no. I don't have an event for a shield being broken. I don't like that this is being handled inside of the life component. I think that's dumb. I can fake something. Maybe for now I just drop it in. All right, let's see it. I love Ada's pixel art style. Well, that's, you know, there's a lot of art in that. I do like the stick figures, like the thin, long, tall characters. If you're going for something simple, I think you could get away with this, but you still have to learn a lot. What the heck is going on right now? Oh, I didn't do that. That's why. All right, chat, I gotta go. I'm gonna finish this right now. I assume it's gonna work. And then I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, and then that's no big deal. What if I do it like that? Nope. Good. Cool, it got called exactly once, exactly as I wanted it to. So, process shield. This is just gonna say shatter. They are ferret pirates. Kind of. They're marten. Like basically ferrets, yeah. There was also something else I wanted to fix. So that's now done. Adds shield break event. And it was the juggle. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So currently juggle is a fixed concept in that you always go up 20 pixels. I think I need it to be less, but I think I need it to be less depending on how high above the player character they are. So if they're above you, they don't go up much. If they're in line with you, they go up a little bit. And if they're below you, they go up a lot. So I'm trying to make them kind of sit around where you are. It's probably a bigger conversation than what this is now, but I might just drop this. Sorry, chat. I might just drop this down and then shrink it a little by about 5 pixels. I think the juggle it's too... Oh, that was tough. No, I think the longer duration's better. That guy just get hit but not take any... Oof, that's tough. Nah, it needs to be longer than that. I needed that long pause for a bit. That's better. Again? I use fork, but I use Git obviously, but the client I use is called fork. I guess if you like send him in the air, you should be comfortable jumping after him. I've worked on this a long time, like over 8 years now. Okay. Well, I'm done. Thank you, pals. I'm going to head out. Let's find someone to raid and get out of here. If you like what you saw just now, you should definitely check out Insignia on Steam and give it a wish list. It helps me out a lot. And yeah, I mean, do we raid? I guess so. Let's raid. Who are we raiding? Audio manager. Okay, let's raid this Godot person. Thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure. I hope you had a lot of fun. I did, that's for sure. I'm feeling a lot better having crushed a lot of those bugs. If you want to see more of what I do, join me on YouTube. You can check us out on Discord and stick around for... Is that... Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, stick around for the alpha. Hopefully next day or two, you'll be able to play the demo that I'm working on. All right. Thank you so much. As always, I've been Adam. You've been the Pixel Pals. This has been the IndieTales Game Dev live team. That's what you are. Until next time. See ya.